Good morning from the English countryside. We're back again for another vlog. It's been a couple weeks since I've been to the shop. Been feeling ill, so feeling good enough to work on it now. We're gonna try to get a lot done today. So popped up in the shop. First thing I see is a pool of oil streaming across the car. I pushed the car back, so this is basically right under the front tire. So at first I'm thinking, well, I'm leaking oil from the oil pan on the car, but it's pretty light oil. There's not that much of it. The next thing I was thinking is power steering fluid, and I think the reason why it might be power steering fluid has to do with the lack of fluid left in the reservoir. The rack itself was actually quite covered in oil, caked up oil, and I cleaned it up quite a bit last time I was here. And I'm gonna check all the connections on it too, because I suspect one of those Nissan kind of clamps, the hose clamps. It's just like a I don't know. It's not a typical band clamp. Those hose clamps get loose really easily, and I'm gonna go check them out. And if I find a loose one, I will replace it with a nice band clamp, and then try to refill the system and see if that helps. Alright, so I had to pull the car outside just because it's beautiful today, and I wanted to see the paint and kind of see it in its natural habitat. But I think we found where the leak was coming from. I'm looking underneath the car. I think it's actually leaking off of the power steering pump itself. I'm going to have to start taking off some of the intake to get to it. But it looks like there's some loose screws holding one of the keep plates. Alright, let's bring everyone up to speed. Couldn't exactly locate the leak, but I'm pretty sure it's power steering fluid. I saw a keep plate on the power steering pump that was kind of loose, and the reservoir was dry basically. So filled the reservoir, tightened the keep plate. We're gonna start it up, see what the hell happens, whatever, and try to locate a leak. It definitely wasn't engine oil. Engine oil was topped up fine. Checked the dipstick, and there was nothing on the sump either, so that's good. Topped up the water. We're basically ready to go. We have a mission here on the interior of the car, undoing all the fucking wiring that's plaguing this car right now. It looks like it had quite a sound system in it at one point, which was not in here. There was tweeters just kind of hanging in the corners. You can see some tweeter wires up there and up here as well. There's an alarm, which I would like to remove, but it has an immobilizer, so I'll probably keep it at the moment just so I don't cross the wrong wire and screw everything up. I found this guy just jammed up under the dashboard right now. Huge two-way reference crossover. I don't know, see what I can get for it on eBay. I'll remove the lines, the wires, and just pull it out of here. I don't need it. I'm not not an audiophile at the moment. I just want the damn car running, so we're gonna go with that. So I'll keep on my wiring mission here as I prepare to get the car drivable. Cross your fingers. There's a big chunk of wires out of the car now. Happy about that. Looks like those were to a subwoofer in the back, and then some speaker wire as well. So yeah, yank that out, cleared out a bunch. I'll clean up here underneath this kick panel and reinstall everything.
Send it. No, you haven't yet. How is it?
What's going on, y'all? Out here on a very windy Saturday at the shop again, and here to make some more progress. I brought a couple more parts, not too many. Today was going to be a lot of kind of fixing stuff in the back of the car, in the trunk area. Assembling taillights. I have a new parcel shelf, which is basically the rear speaker shelf above the rear seat, so I was going to put that in. and then finish the interior and maybe try to simplify some of the wiring craziness that's under the dash. Uh, Conveniently, just as I pulled up to the shop, I had a notification from eBay that my new light cluster, which I needed, was delivered to work, which is like 15 minutes away. So I'll probably do a couple hours of work here, then go pick it up, bring it back, and then finish up the car, or what I was going to do today. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start off with this, calling it big if true. So I walked in the shop last week, and there was a huge line of oil across the car. The car was flipped around, so I had it pointing out. So I was like, shit, power steering's leaking, or something else is leaking. Maybe the engine oil. I was freaking out. Anyways, I cleaned all that up. I come back today, and I think this is our culprit. So, yeah, I'm super stoked that there's no leaks. So I'm going to investigate more, see why this thing's leaking. But I'm glad it's not part of the car, so we'll keep going from there. All right, in the trunk, we're just as we left it last week. Tied off the ground cable because I didn't know if there's any battery drain in the crazy wiring in front of the car. So hopefully the battery's still good and we can still start. A lot of crap back here to clean up. Still a lot of shit to just vacuum up and get a better idea of what's going on. And I'll probably start removing things like the trunk lid. I will probably remove the rear wiper and clean that up and try to respray it if possible, or maybe just get a new blade. Things like that, just to make it look a little better back here. And we'll go continue on the reassembly. Alright, admittedly, I'm not really feeling it today. I don't know, I'm just kind of slow getting started, getting rolling. But I was going to put in the left-hand taillight right now as I start to rebuild this portion of the car. So I had some extra butyl strip from when I redid the the headlights, when I had to clean out the headlights. So I have plenty of this to do both taillights. So I prepped and reapplied brand new butyl onto the left-hand taillight of the car. So I'm going to take off this strip and reinstall it. Alright, I guess the next thing worth tackling here is I'm looking for easy jobs. I was missing a couple fasteners, well, it looks like a lot of fasteners here that hold the rear spoiler in place. These three in the middle, this one down here, same thing on this side, except that one got broken off and it looks kind of crusty. So looking at the bubbling that's been conveniently painted over, I know that there's rust underneath this panel. This panel is shit right now. That does happen quite a bit on that seam, but something tells me, well, maybe this fastener has been sheared off, might cause a lot of water to come in here, and that could be one of the reasons why this panel got kind of rusted. So, oh, and besides that, I'm pretty sure this is for the third taillight in the center of the spoiler. But it looks like it's not connected. You can see the sealing grommet, which probably goes in that hole right there. It's just conveniently not in place. So they stuck it back on without plugging this in. So I'm gonna have to take it fucking off and try to find that plug. So here goes nothing. All right, proceeded to take off the spoiler. This is the crustiness that you see below it. So you can see I pulled the harness that was supposed to go through there. And put the sealing grommet in place. So that harness is supposed to connect to the third brake light. There's a little hole for it on the bottom. So I'm going to clean this up right now and reinstall it. I guess nothing too fancy right now. Kind of like the look without a spoiler, to be honest with you. Maybe put like a Wanging spoiler, like a low and long back spoiler, kind of highway runner kind of thing. Would be pretty cool in here, but yeah. All right, cleaned up. Now I'm gonna reinstall the spoiler. Pretty sure the steering wheel has been removed because it looks a little loose on there. So I'm gonna probably pull that off and try to straighten the wheel, because right now the steering wheel is straight and you can see the wheels a little bit cocked to the left. So something wasn't put on correctly, as is everything else on this car. Alright, while we're back here, I need to remove the tint off a couple of the windows. I think we only have the rear and this driver's side rear quarter window as well with tint on them. Years ago, I took tint off a 240 I had, and it was really just a blow dryer and a razor blade, and just pulled on it. I don't have a blow dryer here. I have a heat gun, and that's way too hot and burned the shit out of everything. So I need to figure out a better method, or at least a quicker method to take the tint off. If you guys have any, leave me a comment or something so I can figure that out. This is crusty as shit. I have to get a new rear wiper, repaint the arm for it as well, and repaint the cover. It's just kind of old Nissan shit, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, definitely new wiper in the back and new wipers in the front. Yeah, not too much else today, man. I'm not really feeling it, to be honest with you. So we'll probably head out quite soon, actually. Super pissed about this. I had the taillight in the back of my car for like a week, and ended up scraping up perfectly nice paint on it. Even probably scraped up the lenses slightly too. I just can't get out of my own way sometimes. Can't get over these rims though. Shit. Alright, I think I figured out what's actually leaking, because I just wiped this up and it's all back. It's the engine hoist. Dun dun dun. Yeah, it's been sat on its side here for a while, and this pool's new, so this just started today after I cleaned it. So yeah, definitely coming from this guy. I'm glad it's not my car. I'm glad it's not power steering fluid or engine oil or any of that. So yeah, chalk one up for the home team. I know the interior was of a lot of people's interest, so you can kind of see how far we got so far. Driver seats in, seatbelt, all that, all the rear seats are in as well, which is good. New door panels. I got the new switch cover, which always goes bad. You can see that hideous steering wheel, which I think now has been removed. So I'm gonna take it off again and try to recenter the wheel because it's kind of cocked. Yeah, cleaned up the dash, removed a bunch of bullshit stuff. New shift boot, new e-brake boot, and took everything off the dashboard. So there was like a mat, there was the AVCR boost controller, took all that off. Just want to make it clean, looking good. So a lot more to do. I think the cluster's kind of fucked, among other things. So I'll probably have to take that out again and go over it, but yeah, we're making some progress. It's all right. All right, everyone. I figured we'd go for a walk and have a chat. So I didn't get much done today at the shop. It's just been a gloomy weekend. It's kind of like, wasn't really feeling it. I got here, I put a taillight in, I refitted the spoiler in the rear, and cleaned out all the crusty shit inside of the trunk. And yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna try to do today. I got this tail light that just came in that I needed. That's at work, so I gotta pick that up, bring it back here. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Not really certain. I'll think about it. Yeah, so didn't really get much done I guess last week I did. I got quite a bit done, which you'll probably see in this. I'm gonna try to edit two weekends into one video, which hopefully this will be. So the first weekend, got the car running, Maiden Voyage, drove it out. I had two friends helping me, my buddy Raj and my buddy Ben, and both of them one's current and one's former Skyline owner, so they seem to know what to do with GTRs. And yeah, we took the Maiden Voyage, and I was really stoked. Driving under its own power, pressing the brakes, shifting gears, just at least around the compound here was more than enough to whet my appetite to know that, what I have done so far has worked. So even with all the wiring fiasco and what the trunk looked like and all that shit. So yeah, we're close. That's what's cool. So I'm gonna edit these two. When you see this video, you'll see both. Culmination of 2 weekends. I've had a stomach flu for 2 weeks now, literally 2 weeks, which is absolutely killing my life. I'm definitely on the mend, but it's taken a while, so I'm being very careful what I eat. So that means I haven't gone to the gym much, and I really haven't had a lot of energy, or even if I had the energy, I wasn't really like feeling like working on the car. So I hope that in the coming weeks, at least the coming weekends, on the next few Saturdays, I get this thing finally MOT'd. I think I'm really close. You know, once I put this taillight on and I put the rear Skyline symbol, and, you know, I finish off the rear end of the car, it's just straight onto the interior. You know, remove what wires I can, tidy up what I can, try to figure out that boost solenoid, and then just go get it MOT'd. So we're done at that point. Like, everything is, at least for this stage, we're done. So I'm kind of happy about that. I just need one big push the next 2 weekends, and yeah, we should be on the road, and then off to the next stage of the whole project, which is the underbody restoration, which will be exciting, and I hope to bring that to you guys too, as well, with more vlogs through either of the two places that right now I'm getting quotes from. I have one that I think is my primary, and then I have a secondary option, both of which are more than capable of working on Skylines and have done so, and done underbody repairs and all the rust repairs and stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of bring it to both places, see which one gives me a better quote. You know, now I know all of the ins and outs of the car. I mean, I've seen everything. I know every rust spot, every dodgy you know, wire, all this kind of stuff. So I think we're at a spot now where yeah, we're getting pretty close here, guys. So I'm kind of happy. Yeah, so that's it. So if you don't mind, give me some thumbs up. You know, like this video, or like the other videos of my series so far, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I think the next couple months, as we approach winter, will be really cool, because the videos are going to start to transition into the restoration portion of the build, and you won't want to miss it. So stay tuned. Thank you. All right, folks, this is how we're leaving her tonight. Yeah, it still looks pretty just standing still, but we're getting close. Spoiler nice and fitted. Happy about that. Got one taillight in, missing that the center Skyline logo, and then the right hand taillight, but I have both of them ready to go, so we'll put that on soon. Yeah, tons of other things, but after we finish all of that, we are on to the interior. So this will be the next and final challenge before MOT.